You're listening to the Zone Coverage Football Show, where opinions, passion, and pride are always on the line. Live from Teese Towers, here's your host, Mark Teese.
Hello, and welcome along to the good old Zone Coverage Football Show. It is Sunday, the 12th of October, and Mark Teese here as always, and I welcome you to Pigskin Week 6. And to say I've got a packed show, if I can pull it off today, is an understatement. I will get to that in a minute. A little bit of housekeeping before we delve into the nitty-gritty of what to expect from the next 90 minutes of utter stumbling madness. So, thanks for joining me as we lead up to kickoff. 2 hours away from kickoff now. So, hope fingers crossed you are tuning in live via the good old TuneIn app. Failing the TuneIn app, you can listen to us live via the Spreaker app. In the Spreaker app, there's like a funky little window in the corner where you can talk to me live. Give that a bash if you like. If listening live's not your thing, you've been dragged around the shops with the missus and all that, I say this week after week, hand in your man card, it's wrong. Sunday's all about the pigskin. But if you do have to listen on demand, you can do that via good old iTunes. iTunes. Yeah, go to iTunes. You can subscribe via iTunes. Stitcher. Any ratings and feedback, be it good or bad, are very, very much appreciated. I do believe you can also listen back via Spreaker and TuneIn as well once the show is done. It's pretty much there within an hour, something like that. Failing all that, you want to know more about me, more about the show, the features and what to expect, head over to the website, which is good old zonecoveragefootballshow.com. Tweet me, Zone Coverage FS, at Zone Coverage FS. Anything you want today, whatever you've got, send my way. I'll give out the number for the show in a minute. What else do we have? That's all bases covered, is it not? Email, yeah, we did have some cracking emails a couple of weeks ago. If you do feel that Twitter characters is not long enough to have a rant or your say on how you feel about the NFL in the UK, then send me an email. That is zonecoveragefootballshow@mail.com. Right, that is that out the way. I do hope that everyone's well wherever you are and what you are doing. So, what do I have on the show today? It's a packed show. We're going to have the hot route in a minute. I'm looking at my notes. The hot route remains blank, so I'm just going to open the phone lines and just chatter about whatever you want, basically. NFL news, I'm going to go through the last 7 days, what's gone on, stories that have jumped out at me. Probably not going to cover everything, but I'm going to hit on the majority of stuff going forward. Also, we have, what do we have? The Not So Great 8 feature returns. If you are new to the show, what the Not So Great 8 entails is basically power rankings and all that, 1 through 32. It's not my cup of tea. I do enjoy them, don't get me wrong, but I like to flip things on the head. So rather than power rankings, I do the Not So Great 8. That is where I sort of judge every division. And on past results and performances, I decide who currently is at the bottom of that division. It won't reflect the standings, it's just what I've seen, it's my view, and I encourage you to interact with me. If you don't like my view, just let me know. Zone Coverage FS. So, Not So Great 8 divisions, 8 teams, you're not all that good. Pure genius my end, you might say there. What else do we have? A brand new feature today, one I've been furiously trying to put together behind the scenes. I'm introducing this. It's going to be called Sunday Smack Talk. I'm going to get 2 fans on from a fixture in Week 6, rival fans, and they're going to jump on the show. They're going to have 2 minutes, basically, to state their case on why they feel their team will win during this game. And then, once both parties have had their say, spoiler alert, we've got a Cowboys fan and a Seahawks fan. We've got Jamie representing the Cowboys fans and Cameron representing the Seahawks fans. They'll be on around about 4:30. And what I'm going to do there, get 2 minutes, state their case, results and team aside, just ignore that part of it. You then, the listener, vote. You tweet in who made the better case, and they'll be crowned winner. What did they win? I've not really thought about that. Just personal pride, yeah. So I am taking entries for that. If you like this idea, what's coming up, if you detest it, whatever, you want to take part on the next one, tweet at me, Zone Coverage FS. Even drop me an email. That is Zone Coverage Football Show at mail.com. So that is a new feature, Sunday Smack Talk, coming up. Got Not So Great 8, the news. I'll try and run through the fixtures, tell you what's coming up over the next few hours, who's on TV, so on and so forth. The wife just pops her head in randomly. And yeah, the wife wants a shout out randomly. So yeah, follow the wife if you'd like to do that. I'll give you a Twitter handle in a moment. Excuse that interruption. So yeah, got the fixtures here. I might, if we do have time on the show, check in on the divisions, catch up there. A few mentions. We also have the Fantasy 5 at 5 via the good old chaps at Dundee NFL. Check out their podcast, Fourth Down and Out. Highly recommended. Great banter and just great insight into the world of fantasy on there. Also, Tom from Huddle Magazine at Huddle Magazine. If you're not checking out, downloading their mag, please go and do that. Excellent piece of work that Tom's got going there. Tom joins us on the show around about 5:15, 5:20. But he will basically flirts around the leagues. He's furiously checking the news whilst I'm on air now for any sort of last minute news, people starting, injuries and so on and so forth. So fingers crossed we shall have you pretty much bang up to date by the time that this week 6 of the season kicks off. And how exciting have 5 weeks been? I know that a certain Browns fan, Simon, is it UK Browns, Simon? I forget your Twitter handle, do apologise. They are his Cleveland Browns, by the way. He must have been absolutely ecstatic last week with the biggest road comeback in NFL history. So he is joining me on the Fantasy 5 at 5 today. So if we do have time, we shall touch on that and see if we can capture some of his elation from that and what he foresees in the game today against the Steelers. Right then, 6 minutes of your life wasted there, people. So we best get to the hot route today. There was no real topic or talking point that I felt that warranted a rant or anything about that today. So while I just think about what I can drop in here with this, very poor preparation on my end, I shall play you this while you...
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.
Right then, that is Herm Edwards there having a little bit of a rant. I feel I might have been saved on this week's Hot Route because Marty at Toomtime88 has just tweeted the show at Zone Coverage FS. And he says, I've got a question for you, mate. Does the media make the New York area the hardest place for a young rookie quarterback? Is the pressure too much? So we'll spread that. I will pinch this, Marty, and roll with it. So I appreciate that, buddy. Does the media, I suppose, I class myself in that sort of area, or do we put too much sort of like pressure, expectation on young quarterbacks? I think we mentioned it a few weeks ago. Quarterbacks don't sit as they used to for a couple of years. I think Aaron Rodgers is sort of the last one that springs to mind where he was given so many years to develop. GMs aren't given time. Coaches aren't, coordinators aren't. Us as fans are becoming more and more impatient. It's sort of like a win mentality in now mode. So we'll roll with that. The hot route, is there too much pressure from the outside creating internal cracks? Is like, let's say, is social media creating a stir out of certain stories that maybe aren't a great deal, but they seem to gather pace, and before you know it's all over the social media sort of networks and stuff, and it creates havoc. So are we collectively adding to the pain and misery and pressure of these players and stuff? Anything else you want to talk about? You don't have to go with the hot route. You can, if you've seen something on the TV, you've got a recommendation for a show, if you even say you've got like a blog for your respective fans, just give us a bell. We'll talk about that. I'm happy to promote anything that's going on within the good old world of pigskin this side of the pond. The number that you will need to do that is 0161 818 4593. That is 0161. Yeah, 0161 818 4593. For some bizarre reason, I had a mental block then. Failing that, hit me up on Skype. That is T-Mister, T-E-E-C-E Mister. T-Smister, TWCE Mister. So get to that. And whilst I was advertising the Sunday Smack Talk feature that I was on about just, what's his name now? Jamie, I need you to accept the invite on Skype, mate, so I can give you a bell later. Otherwise, this is going to go boobs up rapidly. So if you are listening, please get and accept that invite on there. Right then, the joys of a one-man show and trying to sort everything out. Very complicated. Right then, hopefully this little sounder here will play and we shall delve into the NFL news. Wow. NFL news. Right then, here we go. Titans safety Bernard Pollard's season in Tennessee is over. Unfortunately, he ruptured his Achilles tendon and he will miss the rest of the season. Also talking about people that are out for a number of weeks. Pretty much basically is an injury report, the NFL news I've got here now looking at it. Giants running back Rashard Jennings has an MCL sprain. No surgery required, but he's going to be out for about 3 to 4 weeks. Cardinals, oh God, I think I might have missed. Calais Campbell, sprained MCL on an absolutely horrific chop block by Julius Thomas last week. Sprained MCL. Head coach Bruce Arians called it the dirtiest play he's seen in 37 years of coaching. Cardinals fans, Broncos fans, thoughts on that? 0161 818 4593. And while I shall sort of go off on a random one on this here, because tight end Julius Thomas was then later fined $8,268 for that chop block. Colin Kaepernick fined $10,000 for wearing, as it beats Dr. Dre Beats headphones. And the NFL have got a sponsor with, is it Bose that I believe? However you pronounce that. So you're not allowed to wear Beats now because their sponsor goes absolutely mental. He gets fined $10,000. One of the dirtiest player that Bruce Arians has seen in 37 years of coaching. $8,268. What gives there? Come on, it's safety first and all that, Roger? Yeah, great job there. So that is a little rant about that. Ridiculous. So that needs addressing massively. Back to the news. Talking of Broncos, running back Monty Ball's got a groin strain. He's going to be out for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Kenbrell Tompkins, he was dispatched by the good old Patriots a couple of weeks ago now. The Raiders, they've claimed him off waivers. And one of the funniest things that I've seen, I know that my very own Jets head coach, Rex Ryan, did this a few years ago when the Pats handed our rear end to us 45-3. But Tony Sperano has decided to bury the ball for Raiders fans. I don't know if anyone saw the footage of this. I saw it on NFL Network. He was sort of there, dug this hole, saying a few words, and this is like first 4 games, it's starting fresh. If you want to grab a shovel, grab one. Wang some dirt on that. I don't know. It sort of loses its purpose and stuff so many times in, but he's done that thing. He's drawn a line under it. So Raiders fans, how do you feel about that? Is that a smart move by Tony? Do you agree, disagree with that? We'll see what happens. Are you excited by the prospect of the Wildcat? And let me warn you, Tony Sperano, the Wildcat, I'm sure Dolphins fans will agree with me on there. Good luck with that. Anyway, right then, where are we? Back to the news. Random today, very random. I have a hectic morning, my end. Baltimore Ravens, Chris Canty, he's set to miss 2 to 3 weeks after surgery to remove an infection. I never knew that you had to have a surgery to remove an infection. I always thought you took tablets. Well, hey-ho. Anyway, the Chargers re-signed running back Ronnie Brown. The Lions have signed former Broncos kicker Matt Prater to a 1-year deal. You will remember that Matt Prater was cut by the Broncos. He was suspended for the first 4 games, I do believe. That was like an alcohol-related incident. Something went on there. 4-game suspension in light of the way the NFL is these days. There's sort of a no-nonsense policy, so he got caught. Lions needed a kicker. They made some scary stat that I heard. Is it something like 1 in 9 kicks over 30-odd yards? That's all they've made. Something crazy. So picking up Matt Prater, who's a Pro Bowler there, can't argue with that move. That improves there massively. Where are we now? Yeah. The NFL also announced that the $1.4 billion deal has been approved by the league's cast of owners as Terry and Kim, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Beluga, whatever. Anyway, they're buying the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they also own the NHL Buffalo Sabres. Christ, that was easy to say. Anyway, that's all been... basically, I should have just said, the deal to buy the Bills has been approved by everyone, and saved myself a bit of fumbling there. Stumbling. Oh, it's going to be a long 90 minutes, people. Knuckle down. Right then, Raiders linebacker Nick Roach has also been placed on the season-ending IR. He played every defensive snap in 2013. He's missed 4 games, well, all the first 4 games this season. He suffered a concussion during a preseason game on the 22nd of August, so he's out for the season there. And then we have Titans tackle Michael Roos. Only missed 1 game for the Tennessee Titans in 10 seasons. But he is now having season-ending surgery on his injured right knee. So, yeah, that's bad news there. This is good notage. Good notage? Is that even a phrase? If not, we'll roll with it. Anyway, some moron, as my notes say, has been banned from the Lions game after pointing a laser pen at Bills players during their defeat on Sunday. I don't know if anyone saw this. I think they were shining it at the magical moustache of Kyle Orton, and I think the place kicker, the holder actually, he was getting the pen shined in his eyes. So apparently he was boasting about it on Twitter. Well done, A, for doing that. What an absolute moron. And then taking to social media and saying, oh yeah, I've been shining the pen in someone's eyes. The show's not explicit because otherwise I could go off on a real rant there. But yeah, he's been banned now. I do believe he's had his season ticket taken away from him as well. So, yeah, thoroughly deserved there. Your stupidity pay the ultimate price. Yeah, I mentioned that Colin Kaepernick been fined. Craziness that is. Right then, yes, the Adrian Peterson. I don't want to touch on this really, but it is relative news. The sort of meltdown continues there as the Montgomery County prosecutors filed documents on Thursday to have Adrian Peterson arrested after the Vikings running back admitted to using drugs, which is in violation of his bond conditions. According to court records obtained by NFL media, that Peterson admitted to a staffer that he had smoked a little weed before taking a urine sample on Wednesday. The guy with the laser pen's bit of a moron, but Adrian Peterson, I do feel that, sir, you may have topped that. By the way, I smoked a little bit of weed just before I had a drug test. Not the best judgment in the world. On that note, it just blows my mind how we shall... we'll leave that there before I say something I thoroughly regret. Right then, let's check in on Twitter. Let's see what's happening there. I nearly dropped an F-bomb there reading Martin's tweets. He does go on about the media in the New York area, and a certain Manish Mehta does the beat writing for the New York Jets. He likes to get out his wooden spoon, it's fair to say, and create something there. I'm interested, actually, talking about beat writers for certain teams. Is it something you guys follow for your relative teams? What sort of vibe do you get from them? Or are they good beat writers, bad beat writers? Have they got the same sort of nameless... what do they call them now? Nameless sources. Do they pop up in your area? Is that just a New York sort of case? So, relatively quiet on Twitter today. What's going on? Zone Coverage FS 01618184593. I'm just checking in. Twitter very, very quiet, as I was saying, yeah. Good old Jamie has accepted me on Skype, so we will roll with that. The Sunday Smack Talk around about 4:30 p.m. So just scanning down my notes now. We missed this last week. It's a firm favour. Well, I don't know if it's a firm favour. I don't know if you guys just roll with it just for the sake of me, to keep me quiet. Well, it's a big ask, I do know. But yeah, we shall delve into the love line, and with that I shall play this while I grab a quick drink.
Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show Love Line.
then, if you are a new listener to the show, where have you been 11 weeks in? That is the theme tune to the Love Line. And as I mentioned last time we played this feature, it's not a dating service. Unfortunately, you have alcohol Friday, Saturday night, and possibly a few student nights in the week to go and go forth and multiply. I'll put it that way. So yeah, basically the Love Line is we sick. Well, basically it's just an excuse for this feature that I come up with. The quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and all that, they get the big bucks. They're the stars of the show, the poster boys, the big contracts, and all that. But without the guys on the line, they wouldn't get the time to do their job. They wouldn't be able to craft their trade to absolute perfection without these big guys. So every now and again, we jump on, we do a little bit of a sort of player profile on a couple of the big guys up front on either side of the line, just to say thank you and give those guys a little bit of love and respect that they deserve, basically, in my eyes. And I mentioned it before, I'd struggle to name every single person on everyone's line. So not only are we giving these guys a little bit of praise and stuff, we're also making these names a bit more of a familiarity to them. So if you hear them, you can go boast down the pub. Did you see Kevin Ziegler play God today? He was outstanding. Stuff like that. You can just name drop in the pub and look 20 times cleverer than you are. So, as I've given the first one away, we will jump into this. Kevin Ziegler is a guard for the Bengals, 6'4", 315 pounds. He was born in Wisconsin. He played his college ball for the Wisconsin Badgers from 2008 to 2011. He was then selected by the Cincinnati Bengals in the first round, 27th overall. Damn it, I forgot to write down the year. I would assume it was 2012. Anyway, you can see what's gone on this week is I bought myself a new computer to do the show. So fingers crossed, that I'm even on air. But I sort of neglected a few bits and bobs and getting the show put together. So if it does sound a little bit sketchy, please, just bear with me for this week only. I do promise I'll be back to... I don't know if we ever had a peak where we have excelled. Probably not, but some form of consistency maybe. We'll get to that as we go. So that is Kevin Ziegler from the, I nearly said Cleveland Browns then, the Cincinnati Bengals. Sir, we applaud you and we send you some love. And moving on rapidly, is it 5:30? Yeah. Marshall Yanda is a right tackle for the Baltimore Ravens, 6'3", 303 pounds. He was born in Iowa, played his college ball for the Iowa Hawkeyes before being drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the third round of the 2007 draft. He then later signed a new 5-year deal in 2011 for $32 million. He's played in over 100 games for the Ravens and has been selected to the Pro Bowl for the past 3 seasons. Obviously, he won the Super Bowl as part of the Ravens team a couple of years ago when they beat the 49ers in New Orleans when the power went down. An additional note I've written down here. I don't know why I wrote this note down. Known for being a tough physical specimen. Surely that applies to all linemen. Anyway, if you have any nominations, any better profiling that you have for any of the big guys on the line for your team, feel free, send those in to me at good old Zone Coverage FS. I've on email as well. That is, what's the email address? Why am I drawing a blank today of all days? That is Zone Coverage Football Show at mail.com. Zone Coverage Football Show at mail.com. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we'll check in back on Twitter and then we'll go through the fixtures, I feel, before we get this exciting new feature of Sunday Smack Talk up and running in the next few minutes. So I've got a couple of tweets here, there. Biff Sweeney says that the music for the Love Line is rather disturbing. That's one way to say. One way to put it, I should say. My Google search history is probably even more suspect. Had to search for adult theme tunes. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. So, jump to the phone lines. We do have a call. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, who's that?
Hiya, mate. It's Scott, first-time caller.
Oh, hi, Scott. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. Not bad. Just sitting here waiting for football to start, you know. But I'm not listening to the show because I always download it as a podcast, but I thought I'd give you a call anyway.
Oh, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much.
No problems. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I don't know what you've been speaking about this today, obviously, because I've not been listening. But I just wanted to go back to the Wembley experience.
Oh, right, yeah.
And, everything the NFL put on that day, the entertainment outside, the entertainment inside was all top class. And I think really the problem is it's the Wembley organisation that causes the problems.
Ah.
I was one as well as one of your listeners said about the food. The food was horrendous, wasn't it? You've been to Wembley, haven't you, Mark?
I've not been for an NFL game now.
You've not been for Well, I'm a vegetarian. It's even worse.
Oh, I can imagine.
Getting food in there, it's a total waste of time. But the other thing that really wound me up about the place is all over the billboards it says Wembley powered by EE. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on EE on my mobile phone, and I could get a signal anywhere.
You're joking.
Oh, no, so I mean, that didn't add to the experience, because especially if you're a fantasy football player.
Yeah.
You can't. You want to catch up with how your team are doing, don't you? So you can't get any sort of signal in there. Well, I couldn't anyway. But I suppose it stopped me sitting there looking at my phone all day, and I could enjoy the game a little bit more, as much as you can enjoy a big blowout, But yeah, the NFL put on a really great show. I just think they sort of need to maybe have a bit of an influence with Wembley as well, and say, look, we need to look after it, because it's all about the fan experience, isn't it? For the NFL.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And I think they have to do the same for, they have to get onto Wembley and say, look, we've got this complaint, can we get this sorted? Because, it does make it does just put a little bit of a downer on it, but, I'm not going to complain too much. It's a great, to see an NFL team in action, 2 NFL teams in action, it's just an amazing day, isn't it, so.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm actually at the next game, so I shall be able to offer a little bit more insight on that, hoping to do the show live.
I buy the season tickets, and that's another thing you can't argue about. It's about £100, I think, we paid for the 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's superb value for money. I know it's a long way, because I live near you, and it's a long way for us to get down there.
Oh, yeah.
But knowing you haven't paid, £70 or £80 for your tickets, for one game, and you've paid £35 a game, you don't feel so bad, with your travel expenses and having to buy food when you get there. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
But I love going to see the NFL. I'm not particularly keen on a franchise team in London, because I just wouldn't be able to go to all the games, and I'm not sure if I'd want to change my allegiance from the Broncos, who I support, to a London team or a UK team in here. I feel like I should do, but I wouldn't want to, so I don't know how much I'd get behind it.
Yeah, so, I'm with you on that. You're invested now, aren't you, in that team? You've got that history and stuff. Maybe if you were new to it and you're like, oh, there's a team starting, then you could jump on. But
yeah. I can never understand how fans cope with the franchise situation and the moving around. If you supported a team for long. I know Adam Rankoff, NFL, he goes on about the St. Louis football team, he calls them now, because he used to support them when they were the LA Rams.
Yes, yeah.
And now he's sort of disillusioned with them because they're not in the LA anymore. And I couldn't imagine Manchester City Football Club becoming, London City Football Club. I could never go and support them, It'd be awful. But no, I mean, there's so much more positive. I mean, being a Broncos fan at the moment is great. We're apart from last February, we've had a brilliant couple of years. So I can't really complain, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to it today, because I think we're going to put it to the Jets big time. So.
I am absolutely petrified about today's game, if I am honest.
Yeah, I mean, they keep going on. They're clutching at straws a bit this week, saying that, when Peyton goes to that part of town, his 3 biggest defeats are over there, but I can't see it happening today. I think the Broncos are going to give them a bit of hiding. I just don't see what the Jets have got offensively to really, compete point to point with them today.
I don't think we could. We could definitely not outscore you in a shootout. That would not go down at all.
I mean, not many stop the Broncos defensively. I mean, obviously the Seahawks did in February, but it's going to take a magnificent effort by the Jets defense to keep the Broncos out of the end zone today, and I just can't see it. But I'm looking forward to it. It's really good, and just looking. I'm also counting down to Lions the Who are they playing, the Lions?
It's the Falcons.
The Falcons, aren't they? Yeah. It depends which Falcon teams turn up. If the team that plays at home turns up, then it could be a cracker.
Oh, yeah, on the road, they're miserable, aren't they? I think they've lost something like 8 games on the trot, something ridiculous.
Because when you watch them, and I watched the Tampa, the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And defensively, they were outstanding, but they pounded the Broncos offensively as well, and it was a superb performance. And then Jekyll and Hyde, they go away from home, and they're a different side, which is a bit of a shame. But because I thought they'd be really competitive this year, but they could easily be 8-8 by the end of the season, So.
Yeah, it's a fine line for them, isn't it? Like you say, they are so explosive at home, and then they go away. It's a similar story to the New Orleans Saints, I find, as well. In their dome, their home comforts, they can blow out a team.
Even they've struggled in the dome this year. They only just got past the Buccaneers last week. Was it the Buccaneers? It was the Buccaneers, last week. And that was it's been a really funny season. Because, there's a couple of teams that look really, really good. The Seahawks look really, really good. But then they went to San Diego and got beaten, and the Chargers look superb. But I wonder how they'll cope if, when they get to Mile High and sit. That'll probably be I think their toughest game this year.
Because I was going to say, because the Chargers gave you guys a good run for your money.
Yeah, and they could easily have beat us last season in the playoffs.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So obviously they've gone on this year, and they do look. If Philip Rivers stays on his feet, then they're obviously going to be a really big challenge. So, it was the same a little bit last year when the Chiefs went, 7-0, 8-0, or whatever they went, and then they got found out a bit when they came to Denver.
I think they played, was it about 3 or 4 backup quarterbacks, and that run they dropped really lucky, the Chiefs did. Not trying to take anything away from them, but it was favourable.
You've got to beat who's in front of you, and if you look at the backup quarterbacks this season, look at the lad. The third choice at St. Louis, is it Davis? He's done really well, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's been outstanding.
Austin Davis, is that his name?
Yes.
He's come in and done a cracking job. A couple of the backup quarterbacks. If you call Glennon a backup quarterback, he's turned that Tampa Bay team into a team that looked like it might go, not win a game all season. And suddenly he's won away at the Steelers, and he's really run the Saints close in the dome. So. A couple of backup quarterbacks doing really well. I think it's a really good season because it just feels like anyone can beat anyone, maybe except for the Jaguars or the Raiders. Anyone can beat anyone.
That's true.
I just hope the Wembley game it should be a lot closer, and I hope Calvin Johnson's fit because for a spectacle you want to see the best players.
Oh, definitely, yeah, you do, yeah.
Yeah, last year we were lucky we got Adrian Peterson. This year, obviously, it's not about, we got to see him and we saw him do a running touchdown. You feel like I was able to say I've seen a player with that ability, in front of me. Yeah. And I want to see Calvin Johnson, being double teamed in the end zone and him going high and picking one out of the sky. That'd be wonderful.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. That's definitely something that I've got to like. It's like a weird sort of bucket list of players and things that you want to see him do. Like you say, Adrian Peterson scoring a touchdown and that, Calvin Johnson bringing one down in triple coverage. It's a nice little boast, isn't it, to have?
It will. It'll be great. Okay, now I just hope the game's closer than the last one. So, but Mark, I just wanted to say hello, and I really enjoy the show. I've listened to it 3 weeks now. 3 weeks. I caught it a bit late.
Oh no, we've lost Scott there. Just as he was singing my praises, the line seems to have gone dead. Every week Skype turns up or fails to turn up, and we have a dropped call. So I don't know if he's going to ring back there or if I should dive into our new feature. Guys, if you are listening for the Sunday Smack Talk, I'm just going to give Scott a minute or two and see if he rings back. If not, I will jump straight into that. I'll check in on Twitter actually while I await, see if Scott can find his bearings and ring the show once more. But Scott, appreciate the call, mate. Thanks for checking us out and spreading the word. It's much appreciated. To your point, actually, John Cartwright at Cartwright John says, I agree with your caller, Scott. Phone reception at Wembley, awful. Tried to tweet a few pics during the game, but it just wasn't happening. Where else have we got now? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It doesn't seem that Scott's going to be ringing back, so I'm going to go, this is where we go bold on the show. We are taking not one, but 2 calls all at once. And as you guys, the regular listeners, know, that it's a one-man effort here, so you have to bear with me. while I place a call and then add a call. So the first call I'm going to ring is going to be Cameron. So Cameron, if you are ready, sir, I am ringing you now, actually. So fingers crossed that this works. Might be a slight pause here. Hello?
Hi, Mark. How are you, fella?
I'm very well, Cameron. I appreciate you answering quick and saving me from potential disaster.
No worries at all, mate. Been enjoying the show so far.
Good stuff. Cameron, if you want to just tell me a little bit about yourself. Obviously, you're the Seahawks fan representing the Seahawks, obviously, today. How long have you been a fan? And just a general bit of whatever you can about yourself, if you don't mind.
I'm a bandwagoner. I jumped on the Seahawks quite late in 1983, so...
So you've suffered some misery then along the way.
Yeah, so you can imagine that this is rarefied atmosphere for us Seahawks fans having this period of success, so great to be a Hawks fan right now for sure.
Oh, I can imagine. That's great stuff. 1983, wow.
I think the first game I saw was, when Channel 4 started screening football over here in the early 80s.
Yes.
I think I saw a playoff game with the Seahawks against Miami, and I'm pretty sure that was the first game I saw. And then Seahawks had a great team back then. Steve Largent, Kurt Warner, sort of a great defense. Dave Craig, sort of just coming in as a new quarterback in 1983 as well. So great times, had a good period of success, and then it fell away and really didn't get itself going until the sort of the early 2000s.
I was going to say, yeah, because you had that Super Bowl against the Steelers as well a few years back as well.
Yes, indeed, the one that was stolen with us, but we don't like to talk about that too much.
I do remember that. I remember watching that one. It was Jerome Betty scoring in his home stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah, and to be fair, it was we're doing what the Seahawks do to everybody else now, which is out physical them. We were a bit of a finesse. Mike Holmgren's teams have never been always about physical football. They've always been about finesse, and we just were out muscled in that particular game. But I think now we turn the tables. We're all about physicality and how we play our football these days.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Right then, Cameron, you're going to have to just bear with me 1 second while I try and add Jamie to the call. So I will check in with him a moment. So if you can just hang on the line for me, and then once you're both on, I will explain how things are going to go.
Sure.
Okay, brilliant. So fingers crossed, this should work. Bear with me on this one. Just waiting for him to answer now. This is dicey, my end, in all honesty.
The excitement of technology going live. Yeah. You're a brave man.
But yeah, it's not good. We're getting no answer, which is not good. Hello? Hello? Is that Jamie?
It is.
Hi, Jamie. Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
No problem. I appreciate you. You've jumped in at the last moment because Brett Loveday was going to come on. He's been called into work, so... I appreciate you helping me out and saving me in this feature.
No problem.
Right then, Jamie. Cameron's already on the line. He's just told me a little bit about his Seahawks. If you want to just roll off the same, if you want, tell us a little bit about yourself and your Cowboys.
I've been a Cowboys fan for about 10, 12 years now.
All right, great stuff.
I'm part of the team. The UK Cowboys fans team who run the fan group along with Nick Antonis and Lauren Draper-Wood. Big year coming up for us. Obviously, Cowboys here in a few weeks. We've got quite a lot going on in terms of we've got the Cowboys Bash, game day meetups, game meetups after the game to watch the late game. So watch this space. Tickets are running out for the Bash.
All right, great stuff.
So any Cowboys fans coming to London, make sure you snap them up quick. Head over to our website at ukcowboysfans.com and snap them up now. If not, you'll definitely be missing out on probably one of the best nights we're going to see probably in London for an NFL game.
Right, that's brilliant. Right, so go over to, is it ukcowboys.com?
It's ukcowboysfans.com, yeah.
Oh, sorry, ukcowboysfans.com. So that's brilliant. So Jamie, meet Cameron.
Hi, Jamie. How are you doing, fella? Good to see you. Good to speak to you, rather.
And yeah, I'm good, mate. How about yourself?
In the interest of balance, can I give a shout out to my UK Seahawks chapter? We've actually got many of our guys are over in Seattle for the Dallas game today, They make an annual trip. We call it a Motherland game. So they actually are all over there today, ready for the game. So if you want to find out more about us, you can find us on Facebook on UK Seahawkers. And please join us if you're interested in finding out more about the fans in the UK.
Right, excellent stuff. So that is UK Seahawkers on Facebook. So, Right then, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you each up to 2 minutes. You can take the full 2 minutes if you want, and I will warn you, I don't have a stopwatch. Preparation my end, as always, excellent. So 2 minutes you're going to have. Just state your case on why you believe your team's going to win today. And then we shall, I shall cut you off, whatever. I won't cut you off. You know what I mean? We shall part ways. I will then put it out to the audience. I'll get them to tweet in at Zone Coverage FS. So any fans and that you've got, the more votes and that you get, then I will declare the winner, and you will be the first victor of this Sunday Smack Talk thing that I've come up with. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
sounds good.
Perfect.
Right then. We should flip a coin as into who's going to go first. So, Cameron, do you want to? I'll let you call heads or tails.
Tails.
Right, here we go. I've got no dramatic sound effect. Oh, it's heads. So, Jamie, do you want to go first or second?
I'll let the defending champions go first. They can take the stage.
Right then, Cameron, the floor is yours. I do believe that I can dig out my phone out my pocket and we can go crazy and actually have a stopwatch. There's no holds to technology on today's show.
All right, well, thanks, Mark. Well, look, it's very difficult for me as a long-time Seahawks fan to say, without coming across as a bit of a Richard Sherman and sounding a bit arrogant, a bit over the top, but essentially, we, in the last 18 games at the CenturyLink field, we are 17-1. It's impossible to come in there and beat us on our home turf. I guess, as Cowboys fans going into that environment today, it'll be quite good for them to see what a home team actually looks like, since they were out-muscled in their home turf by Texans fans last week. However, we're very tough to play at home. We're hoping that the Dallas Cowboys' strong rushing game will come up against a very strong Seahawks rush defense, number one in the league. And essentially, I think that nullifies the main offensive threat for Dallas. I think the Seahawks offense is going to be the key to the success in this particular game. I think the Seahawks have a three-pronged attack that's very difficult to defend against because they're not what you call a conventional offense. And I don't think Dallas have played anything like that. So if we're going to run the ball with Marshawn Lynch and you want to stack against the run, I think you'll find that we can then use Percy Harvin in the screen game and the end around, use his speed to terrorise essentially. Once you start trying to defend that opens up the run game and it opens up the play action game for the Seahawks offense.
Fantastic.
More than that, we've got Russell Wilson with his 76% completion accuracy. Seahawks special teams giving you nothing on field position. And I think the key to this game, as I always go, is, who do you look to give you the definitive answer? And Vegas of the Seahawks is a 9.5-point leader in this game. So I'm pretty sure that those guys who live in the big mansions in the desert know something about football. So I'll go with them.
5 seconds left.
So my prediction today is a Seahawks 35-17 win.
Right then, that is pretty much bang on 2 minutes. So you're getting 35-17 win as well. Right then, Jamie, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I think we'll win just for the fact that everybody knows everybody pretty much writes Dallas off against big teams nowadays. We like to still think of ourselves as a big team, but obviously teams like the Seahawks, Packers, anybody like that, obviously are up there with the best. And I think the worst thing a lot of people have done is kind of underestimated the Cowboys coming into the season, especially coming up to this week. And I think when you underestimate a team so much that the pressure's on the Seahawks, and I think everybody underestimates is going to make us a hell of a lot dangerous than in recent years. And I think compared to past years, we've got a bit more of a balanced offense. We're 16th in passing in the league, and we're also second in the run game compared to obviously the Seahawks have got the best rushing offense. So I think just as well, we've got probably on offense we've got a lot more weapons, so to speak. We've got the likes of Jason Witten. We've got Murray now getting a lot more involved. We've got Cole Beasley who can sit there and can pick up a few first downs, and Terence Williams is coming on really well. And I know the Seahawks have got some of the best defensive backs in the league, but if you're looking at recent games this season so far, they've come up against some good quarterbacks, but they haven't come up against any decent receivers. And today, I think Sherman and I think Thomas, they're going to have an absolute horror day, because one man and one man alone is going to probably do this today. It's number 88, Des Bryant's going to absolutely tear him to pieces today. I think we've relied heavily on Romo over the last few years, and we know with his interceptions, that kind of thing, it's kind of made us a bit one-dimensional. Whereas now we can focus, we can get the first down with a couple of runs, because Murray can grind those runs out, and Des doesn't need any kind of bigging up. You know what I mean? He's one of the best receivers in the league. So I think just compared to, because we've now got more of a balanced offense.
I have to cut you off there, Jamie. I do apologise. 2 minutes time there, sir.
Sorry, yeah, no.
Yeah. I want to stick to the 2 minutes, yeah. But yeah, both great points there. Do you have any sort of anyone picking up anything that the other one was saying? Any sort of comments in relation?
I'd like to just come back and say Jamie made a lot of good points there, and I certainly don't want to underestimate Dallas. I think that we recognise their surprise package. I think they were written off in the pre-season. I think we know they've got a good offence. You see them committing to the run more this year, which they've talked about for doing, and they're getting more success because of that. But I think the physicality, last time Dallas were in the clink, it was men against boys. Des Bryant only caught 3 passes for 40 yards that day. You know, Romo got 44 yards. It's a different world. So I just hope there's enough bits left between Romo and Murray to make a full player at the end of the game, so the Dallas Cowboys don't go away completely without, 2 players down.
Jamie, your response?
No, do you know what? The Seahawks are a scary team.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And do you know what I mean? And I know I can trade it and go, do you know what I mean? We've got this guy, but our defence is so unpredictable. Just we've got so many guys that are always injured, and we've got people coming in. Obviously, we picked up Rolando McClain in the off-season, and he's proving a really good kind of pickup. So, to be honest, I think it's going to come down to Romo and Des, and obviously throwing in there Murray. And again, it's going to come down to Wilson, Lynch, and probably Percy Harvin. I just think it's going to be more of an offensive kind of game. The Seahawks defense isn't as good as it was last year, and I don't think the stats back that up. So I think we're going to see a bit of a shootout, to be honest. Coming into, I think we'll scrape it by 7 today. I'm not going to go for a score prediction, because I generally get these wrong, but I think maybe a differential in score is probably a better way to go.
Right, great stuff. Right, guys, I want to thank you both, actually, for coming on and indulging me in this little competition I've got going on here. I really appreciate the support, the tweets, and everything that you've been doing over the course of the past few weeks. What I've done now, I've just sent out a tweet with the hashtag Cam and the hashtag Jamie. So if you can get your respective people to tweet at the show, Zone Coverage FS. And what I'm going to do, I shall total them up over the course of the next half an hour. And fingers crossed, you can be by your phones on Skype within a half an hour, and I will give the caller a quick call for the last bit of promotion, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Right then. So, Jamie, it was your website again for the Cowboys fans, sir?
It's ukcowboysfans.com.
And Cameron, your one for the Seahawks, the Facebook page was?
Facebook page is UK Seattle Seahawks fans. You'll find us on Facebook. Just do a search, you'll find it, okay?
Fantastic. Again, Cameron, thank you very much, sir. Same to you, Jamie. I really appreciate you coming on, and may the best man win. You've both made some absolutely fantastic cases there, and I do feel this will be a close contest.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, guys. Right
Cheers.
then, fingers crossed I can put the phone down without cutting the show off. Thank you very much. And I do believe that those guys have now gone. The show appears to be live on air. So somehow we've gone a 3-pronged attack. 2 people and myself on the phone all at once. A massive thank you. This was an idea that spawned via Blue Lion Man. Noel a few weeks ago. He was saying get a variety of fan groups and stuff involved. So I sort of evolved that idea. Thought, why not pitch a fan against a fan? Fun, friendly, bit of chit chat there. Some great cases there. So if you want to vote, I did put the tweet out. Hashtag vote Cam. Cameron is the Seahawks fan. Do go check out their Facebook page. Hashtag Jamie. Tweet those into the show. You've got half an hour, and then I shall bring the victor back up and can bask in glory. I've got no great prize or anything like that to give away. Just creating a fun, friendly environment for us all. So right then, that is that. I will check in on Twitter actually and see what's going on. We got a few retweets here. Got a couple of votes. I won't divulge into who's in the lead there. But yeah, let's delve in. We got Fancy 5 at 5 coming up in the next 10 minutes. We also have, what do we have? Yes, my mind's blown there trying to put all that together. We have Huddle Magazine coming on. It's going to be around about 5:20 tonight, just after I speak to the victor of today's Sunday Smack Talk. So keep retweeting that, get the votes in. The more support on that you can go, the better. And remember, don't think of it as the better team, home field advantage and all that. I want you to base the your vote on each person's case. Both made very, very good cases there. So we shall see what happens. Right, then let's have a look at today's fixtures. I do believe it is now what? Oh, we are on week 6. Yes. Oh God, I don't know what's gone on there, but something's flashed up on the screen. Right, it's making a strange, bizarre noise. Right, fingers crossed that didn't get broadcasted. But hey-ho, here we go. We started off Thursday night game, the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Absolutely fantastic game. I was a bit concerned that this one might turn out into a blowout. It was something crazy like 24-zip at the end of the first quarter. Pat McAfee doing the craziest onside kick that I've ever seen. I don't think that the good old Texans will be giving that much room going forward on the special teams unit. But yeah, turned out to be a great game. I thought Andrew Luck looked very clinical. I did see a great tweet the other day. I think it was actually on the Facebook page. That again, Zone Coverage Football Show. Regarding Andrew Luck, yeah, he's very impressive, but he is still prone to the odd error I meant interception. So yeah, T.Y. Hilton went off. I'm sure he was over a couple hundred yards. J.J. Watt, I think I mentioned it last week when I did my top 4 rundown at the various positions. J.J. Watt, someone put, actually, I will touch back on this, that he got more touchdowns than some of the Jets receivers and stuff like that. So I did catch a lot of flack last week regarding the Jets getting humiliated by the San Diego Chargers. So everyone that sort of got involved and sent a bit of grief my way. It was good fun, actually. I enjoyed it. Someone put a tweet to me. It said, what did he call a Jets fan with a Super Bowl ticket? A thief. That was definitely one of the favourite ones that I got over the course of the last week. So I'm all for that. I give it out, so please do keep that coming. Right, let's get back to the fixtures. What was I saying now? Yeah, T.Y. Hilton went off on Thursday night. I'd never got, actually, why the Texans were giving him a clean release off the line. Crazy. Man coverage on him, someone, or put a safety over the top as well. It was just ridiculous. And then good old Ryan Fitzpatrick, what's with that beard? It looks like he's glued a hedgehog to his face. Like about 4 hedgehogs to his face. It's madness. It's like he hasn't got a chin strap on, you wouldn't know. But less of Fitz's beard. He did fumble at the end. I would imagine that Texans fans, how do you feel about Fitzpatrick? I saw him, obviously, Bills play the Jets a couple of times a year. He made the back shoulder throw, which is one of the hardest throws to make for me. He was doing that, I think he did about 3 or 4 times on Thursday night, and yeah, he just couldn't complete the simple underneath passes. Very frustrating. So yeah, that was that game. Turned out to be a belting game in the end, one of the best Thursday night games we've had this season. So what do we have fixture-wise? We have the Denver Broncos at my New York Jets. And we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans, Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Pats and Bills is a sneaky good game today. Carolina Panthers at the Cincinnati Bengals. And we have the Steelers Browns. this, for me, could be a very, very interesting, exciting game. I do believe that good old Ben Roethlisberger has got a crazy record. I think he's only ever lost once to the Cleveland Browns, but the Browns are a fun team to watch at the moment. The good old cardiac kids are back. And has anyone seen the Brian Hoyer dancing in a locker room after last weekend's victory? If you've not seen it, I do. If you're feeling down, you wake up tomorrow, it's the beginning of the week, feel miserable, just Google Brian Hoyer dancing in the locker room. It's one of the best videos, 30 seconds, I've ever seen. Really, really funny. So do go and track that down. Highly recommended. Where was it? Yeah, Green Bay Packers at Miami. We got the Chargers at the Raiders. We got the Bears at Falcons. Who's on TV today? I forgot to write that down. Oh, who's the early game today? Why is my mind... it's the Lions Vikings is on Sky at 6 o'clock, I should have said. I do apologise there. Where were we now? Yeah, Chargers, Oakland. We got the Bears at the Falcons. The Seahawks entertain the Cowboys. Keep them votes coming in there. Vote Cam, vote Jamie for the Sunday Smack Talk. That is your late game on Sky. Then we have the Washington Redskins at the Arizona Cardinals. And then the late game tonight, which is on Channel 4, 1:30 in the morning. That is the Giants and Eagles. And all of a sudden the Giants look a little frisky. So it turns out that good old Ben Magadoo his offense is full-on clicking now with Eli Manning under center. So that should be a good late game. And then the Monday night game is the good old San Francisco 49ers at St. Louis Rams. That's on... What's that on now? What's the channel? Eurosport. Again at 1:30. So just going to check in on Twitter because I can see a variety of notifications. Scott Larkin, who was on the show earlier on, he says, thanks for the chat, Mark. Sorry if I went on. Keep up the good work. Scott, your call, like everyone, you are welcome to come on and talk about whatever you want for however long you want, whenever, sir. I appreciate the tweet as well. Marty says, Smack Talk, very close and well done, guys. But for me, that's where I shall pause. I shall write down who he voted for. Also says that the segment's a good one. You like the segment? Don't like the segment? Let me know. Just keep the tweets coming in. John Cartwright's been in touch. He's made a vote, so I shall mark that down. As has Rocket Ron _65. He's also cast his vote there. John Cartwright is at Cartwright John. If you guys all sort of follow each other, we can get like a nice little community feel going there. Oh, Scott's doing some fantastic work here. He's actually tweeting Jeff Reinbold there about the show, so I appreciate that. Cameron's plugging away at C4MRIN to the Seahawks fans to get in some votes going. Dan Phillips at Dan PFFC. He's also cast his vote as well. So, yeah, keep those votes coming. We have, 15 minutes left, so we're halfway through the segment there. So, and going forward, if you look at the fixture list for the next week, obviously you're going to know if your team's playing, but say you've got a friend or like a good fan group, you maybe get in touch with them, because I do see a lot of you follow Friday and each other and stuff like that. So if you want to register your interest to be, I'll just compile a list actually, and when I see the fixtures, I'll get in touch with you and say, do you fancy coming on the show? I got one stipulation though. I cannot do like a conference call on a normal mobile. You're going to need a Skype account, I'm afraid. And I don't get any payment from Skype or anything like that. It's just a system I use. It's easy to do. And it enables me to do the conference call where I can get two people on and myself. So that's the only stipulation I have. Fan-wise, be a fan. You can come on more than once. If you're the only fan I've got and I keep coming back to you, we can just get you going as like a reigning champion or something. And then maybe we could pitch fan v fan of the same team. So if you are interested in that, again, just DM me on Twitter, or just mention me actually, Zone Coverage FS, or you can even send an email as well. And like you heard then, that Jamie was talking about www.ukcowboysfans.com, and I forget his name, sorry now. Cameron was on about the Facebook page for this UK Seahawkers. So if you want to do a little bit of promotion about any sort of groups that you're in, any sort of websites that you have as well, feel free. The floor is entirely yours, and hopefully I'll sort of perfect that segment as I go on. But trying to make sure that I'm still on air and fielding 2 calls is damn tricky at times. So yeah, we have another vote just come in, and I will say this is neck and neck, guys. Very, very, very close. So keep that coming in. We're approaching 5 o'clock now, which does mean that Simon from at Dundee NFL, the Fourth Down and Out podcast, should be calling in any moment, which hopefully you will hear that subliminal message and place his call, enter the show, and we will talk fantasy football for the next few moments. And as you can tell, I am just filling for the time being while I await that call. So yeah, the votes are coming thick and fast now. So here we go. Yeah, well, let's have a look at the standings as we go at the moment while I just fill in a bit of time waiting for that call. And the NFC East two-way tie at the top there, Eagles 4-1, Cowboys 4-1, Giants have a record of 3-2, Redskins propping up that division 1-4. I never did my not so great 8 feature. I'll try and squeeze that in a moment, actually. I must make a note of that. So that was the NFC East. NFC North, we had the Lions, 3-2. Packers, currently at 3-2. The Vikings, 2-3. Chicago Bears, 2-3. NFC South, Carolina leads the way there, 3-2. Up next, the Falcons and Saints, both 2-3. Tampa Bay Bucks, 1-4, because they easily have knocked off the Saints the other week. On to the NFC West, Cardinals and the Seahawks are out in front of here, 3-1. We do have a call now. Fingers crossed, this should be Simon. Excuse me. Hello.
Hi, Mark. It's Simon from Dundee NFL.
Hi, Simon. How are you, sir?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, getting there today. Started off a bit flustered, continued in the same vein of form. So, yeah, half an hour to go until everyone's ears are saved from this madness. How are you?
Nice one. Right, should we do the Fantasy 5 at 5?
Yeah, I shall play your little intro if you bear with me 1 second.
Excellent.
Right then, Simon. Before we delve into
let's
things,
see what I've got for you this week. Let's start off with Brandon Oliver, running back for the San Diego Chargers. Don't know if anybody's heard of him, but he's probably started out being about a third, fourth string running back earlier in the season. But with the injuries to sort of Ryan Matthews, etc., for the Chargers running back, then he was the top fantasy running back last week. So he might even be available on the waiver wire or for people to pick up. He had 114 yards, 4 receptions, and 2 touchdowns last week, so it equates to quite a few points, and that was against the New York Jets.
I missed that one. That didn't happen. I blanked out on that.
Yeah, so if anybody watched the sort of demolition job that the Chargers did on the Jets last week, it'll have been quite notable, actually, Brandon Oliver running back there. And I believe, and just correct me wrong if I'm wrong here, Mark, the Jets were, prior to last week, they were number 1 defence against the run, I think they were, in the NFL.
Yeah, they were, yeah. They stunk last week. It was a complete team meltdown. On all 3 phases of the ball. Geno Smith, actually I missed that out on the news, missed a meeting on Saturday because he was at the movies. He was on the wrong time zone. How does that happen?
I think he's been on the wrong time zone for a few weeks now, hasn't he? The sound of it.
I asked for that one.
This week, the Chargers, and in particular Brandon Oliver, they're against the Raiders, who happen to be the second worst in the NFL against the run. So that sounds actually quite a good opportunity for people to possibly just go check out the players available in your leagues and see if he's there. Brandon Oliver, running back for the Chargers. We'll see how well he does this week. Number 2 on my hit list this week. Golden Tate, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. I think it's just been announced that Calvin Johnson won't play today. And even if he was playing, they've generally been using him as sort of a bit more of a decoy in the last couple of weeks, really, the Lions. Split the coverages up. So Golden Tate seems to be the number 1 target of Matt Stafford at the moment. Last week, he caught 7 of 9 passes, 134 yards for a touchdown. So I think he's good value to having your team for his definite starter anyway this week. And today is up against the Vikings, who've been pretty welcoming to opposing wide receivers this year. And I'm pretty sure is that the Sky Sports game tonight at 6 o'clock, the Lions and the Vikings?
Yes, it is, yeah.
So just, keep an eye out for Golden Tate as a definite starter there if you've got them in your team. Secondly, let's have a look. I picked up running back Ronnie Hillman, actually, this week on quite a few teams that I'm involved in, a few leagues that I'm involved in. Now, he's usually spouted about the second or third running back for the Denver Broncos, but they've been having a few injury problems of Denver. Monty Ball's injured, so he's projected to get around 15 points, if not more, this week. And again, we don't necessarily believe all the projections that you're presented with before the weekend's games. But Ronnie Hillman could be a good waiver wire pickup for anybody who's struggling for running back at the moment. And let's see, where else are we? Let's go to the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants. Sorry about this, Mark, but the Giants are hitting sort of top form at the moment. I think they've won the last sort of 3 games after a 0-2 start. Eli Manning seems to be the hot quarterback right now. They've introduced a new sort of West Coast-based offense on the Giants this year. It's taken them a few weeks to sort of get going on that, but they seem to be really, really hot at the moment, the Giants. So I would pretty much start anybody that you've got on your team that's on the Giants. Particularly Eli Manning. Again, you've got to consider he was a bit of a laughing stock probably about a month or so ago, because he seemed to, and particularly last season as well, because he seemed to spend most of his time on his back than on his feet, throwing touchdowns. I think the New York Giants, and you're looking at the Giants wide receivers as well, Odell Beckham, the rookie, now 100% fit, Victor Cruz, Ruben Randall, and the tight end Larry Donnell as well. And they're against the Eagles this week, Mark, who after a good start, I think they're 4-1, but still dodgy on defense. So looking for the Giants to come up with trumps there. What do you think?
I can see the Giants today, definitely. Like I say, it kills me to say Eli Manning does Luke. I won't go with that elite route because that winds me up. But yeah, he's looked good of late. I say Odell Beckham announced his presence on the scene last week as well, didn't he? So
he definitely did.
Yeah.
They're looking pretty hot on offense for the Giants. So I would probably recommend starting all your Giants, running backs, wide receivers. Speaking of running backs, Andre Williams as well, the running back for the Giants.
Yes.
Won't forget him as well, because I think Rashad Jennings sprained his MCL, might miss 2 to 3 weeks, if not more. And again, Williams against the Eagles today. The Eagles are averaging something around about 24th in the league against the run, and they regularly give up quite a lot of yardage every week to the Eagles against the run as well. I think they're averaging about well over 120 yards per week that they're giving up against the run there. So the Giants being red hot on offense, then start Andre Williams as well at running back if you have him, or see if you can find him on the waiver wire potentially on any of the leagues that everybody's involved in as well. So that brings me to the very last one, and I'm going to be slightly biased here, Mark, because I never mentioned them before, the Cleveland Browns. My Cleveland Browns, as I always say. Andrew Hawkins, only 5'7", so a bit of a smurf, and that's apologies to anybody who's like Coach Russell Duke and done the NFL.
Vertically challenged.
Andrew Hawkins and Russell Duke have got a lot of things in common. They've both got a very high ceiling. Actually, but we'll move on. Yeah,
can I just jump in there 1 second? Because Russell's actually tweeted me to mention. He says, "Tell Simon that when he comes on, he's going down tonight. We man's Warriors rule."
Yeah, I'm up against him in one of the fantasy leagues at the moment, and I think I'm something like after Thursday, because I just happen to have T.Y. Hilton on my team, who sort of recorded something like 37.5 points for me, something like that. And I can't remember, Russell's currently on about 2.5 points, so I think not Russell somehow. But it'll be interesting to see anyway. Anyway, back to Andrew Hawkins for the Browns. Potentially a third wide receiver if anybody's looking to pick up somebody that's still available in the leagues that they're in. Third wide receiver. He averages around about 9 targets per game so far this season, so very handy, especially in PPR leagues as well. And they're against the Steelers, who aren't as good as they used to be. In week 1 against the Steelers, he caught 8 passes for 87 yards, so they're looking to sort of improve on that. So again, check the waiver wire there, check the availability in the leagues, and he could be a potential good pickup. Could Andrew Hawkins. So that concludes my 5 at 5.
That is fantastic stuff. Actually, I wanted to ask you about the Browns last week. Have you seen the Brian Hoyer dancing in a locker room video?
I have, yeah.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, record breakers, record-breaking sort of Browns performance. They were if anybody doesn't know out there, I'm going to tell you anyway, that the Browns sort of became became from the largest lead that sort of came back behind from last week, about 26 points, something like that,
biggest
down.
Comeback in NFL
for an away
history.
team in the NFL. Yeah.
It was good stuff. I imagine you were cartwheeling around the front room, were you? And a joyous celebration.
Well, I'm pulling what hair I've got left out in the first half, which seems a typical sort of rubbish Browns performance in the first week. Sorry, in the first half of the game, but then they sort of magically came alive. So the defence still concerns me though, because they're still very sort of dodgy on defence. I'm just hoping that sort of they're going to improve week on week, and at some point they're going to catch fire on defence. So unusually, you're actually going to think that the Browns Steelers is going to be could be a fairly high scoring game today. Usually it's the old black and blue battle, a very low scoring game, but I think it's going to surprise a few people, hence why I've sort of mentioned Andrew Hawkins.
Yeah, I can see it being a good game. I actually picked the Browns in a pick'em league. I just feel that the Steelers, the defense just hasn't lived up to the hype. I actually tipped the Steelers as a sneaky get in the playoffs late on and maybe make a run for a Super Bowl, but that's looking like a bad pick my end now. Yeah,
maybe. I mean, it's a tough league. The AFC North is traditionally a very hard, as I said, black and blue league. I think it's the only actual division in the NFL this year, Mark, that actually every team is either 500 or higher. So it just proves what a difficult division it actually is to play in.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Anything else to add then before you go, Simon? The podcast and all the usual stuff?
Yeah, podcast should be back on track. Apologies, we didn't have a podcast this week due to various issues with the four coachmen. So I think we're back this week. I think it'll be me and Russell in the forthcoming week on that. So just catch us out at Fourth Down and Out on the podcast or Twitter at Dundee NFL and get you anybody listening there. It's well worth a listen, although I am slightly biased, but it is. And send us your questions and we'll try and get them read out on the pod every week.
That's fantastic stuff. Again, Simon, I appreciate the support and everything that you guys have done for the show and for coming on and reeling off the fancy advice to everyone. It means a lot to me, buddy. Thank you.
All right, so absolute pleasure, Mark.
All the best to your Cleveland Browns then today, and there's a lot of banter going back. You might want to jump on Twitter and check out what's happening.
All right, I will do. Thank you very much.
Okay, then, Simon. Take care, buddy. Cheers. I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
And you, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that was Simon there from at Dundee NFL. Check out their podcast. It is the Fourth Down and Out podcast. Fantasy advice, good fun. We have on Martin, Russell and Simon there. There's some great back and forth that goes on between the guys there. So highly recommended, in fairness. It is good fun. And talking of good fun, it seems to me, I can't even word that around. Anyway, talking of fun, it seems to be that everyone's has sort of embraced the first ever Sunday Smack Talk show, and there's a lot of tweets come in of late. So yeah, it's going absolutely crazy at the moment. I will try and play catch up on Twitter. I don't think I've got enough ink to write down the votes that are heading this way. We have a tweet from Rebecca Duke. She says that Wee Man supports the Bucks. He knows nothing. Ha ha. A lot of support for the two competitors that are going at it on Twitter. Again, hashtag Jamie, hashtag Cam. I'll give that another 2-3 minutes, and then I shall call that one a close, and well, I shall tot up the votes as we go. I'm not really sure what we've got time for now, because I do know that Tom from Huddle Magazine's due to ring in around about 7 or 8 minutes. Can I get through the Not So Great 8 feature in that time? That is the question. Yeah, let's go for it. Right then, the Not So Great 8 feature, if you're new to the show. Basically, you know by now, power rankings, everyone does it. Me being me, a little odd, very different, and a lot of expletives. I do who I feel has been a poor team and who I think is propping up their division. So I will jump in with the good old AFC East. Last time I had my good old Jets, they held their spot. I caught a bit of flack for that. Guess what? Nothing changes at all. The Jets continue to prop up the NFC East, not only in the actual standings, but in my mind as well. The Bills have looked decent, even with the magical mustache under centre. Dolphins and Pats, they showed signs of life after a few cracks the past few weeks. It just leaves the Jets at the bottom at the moment. We seem to have some internal issues which are spiralling out of control. So right then, on to the good old AFC North. The Ravens and Bengals, despite defeats, have been impressive through the first 5 weeks. Add into the mix Brian Hoyer cutting up the rug in the locker room after an amazing comeback. And I'm going to put the Steelers in last place. I'm going to have them propping up the AFC North. I had the Steelers actually propping it up last time round. Just the defence is absolutely woeful, and they struggled against the Jags team last week. So got the Bengals and the AFC North there. Jets, AFC East propping up their divisions. Again, this is all in my mind. So on to the AFC South. This one I thought was a tough one for me. Two teams in here who give the Jets for a run for the money and fairness, and who's the worst team in the NFL as a whole. So talking about the Titans and the Jags, obviously. Well, the Jags, they've switched things up now. They've got Blake Bortles in at QB, but they've yet to record a victory. The Titans, big shock here. Jake Locker's hurt. Clipboard Jesus, well, he's been rocking that ponytail. He's been rocking a ponytail. And now there's talk of good old Zach Mettenberger coming in on the centre. I'm just going to go, I'm going to roll with the Jags. The Jags propped it up last time, I should say. That's thrown me off now, yeah. So the Jags remain bottom of the AFC South in the not-so-great 8 feature. Basically, the Titans have got one victory, and they beat the Chiefs at the Chiefs, so they can't ignore that fact, despite the fact that they're miserable. So that was their West. So, yeah, I've done that, yeah. Oh, sorry, the AFC West. I missed that one out. No shocker here. The Raiders propped that one up. So that continues as it was. On to the NFC East, actually. We actually have movement here. I had the Cowboys bottom last time. Yeah, that's going to cause a few ripples. I thought that they were the worst team, but they've surprised everyone as it is, and they held the spot. Yeah, the Giants... the Cowboys have held their spot at the beginning of the season. Then last time out, I had the Giants at the very bottom. But the Giants are off to a good start, as are the Cowboys. The Eagles, despite how massively flawed they are, keep winning. So for me, not so great 8. Washington Redskins, really. It's a mess there. A lot of injuries not helping out. So that is that. More movement onto the NFC North, and perhaps one of the most controversial moments in the history of the not-so-great 8 feature. Yeah, very controversial, this one. The Vikings pretty much held the bottom spot since the beginning of time. Well, since I started this show 11 weeks ago. And but they are showing signs of light with the gloved wonder Teddy Bridgewater. So they've been replaced by the Chicago Bears. Why? Well, they lost at home to the Bills. The Packers beat them easily. They scraped past my Jets, threw away a 14-point lead against the Panthers. Cutler's looked woeful last few weeks. 5 fumbles, 6 interceptions so far. So the Bears prop up the North. On to the South. By the way, voting over. Voting stopped. Should have stopped 2 minutes ago. Any tweets come my way after now? I'm not counting. So no more votes, please. I shall wrap this up quickly. NFC South, Tom, as soon as I've done the NFC West, ring in, mate. Said the last one was controversial. This may top it. The Bucks, they've also been the bottom of the NFC South for all eternity. In my eyes, well, again, 11 weeks of the show. They've got new life now. Mike Glennon under centre. They've moved on from when the Falcons dropped that 50-burger on them. But they lost. They've been close in the defeats, to be fair. They only lost by 6 to the Panthers, by Rams, 2 points in that one. Great comeback win against the Steelers. Took the Saints to overtime. I like the fighting spirit. The Falcons, for me, been miserable on the road. I don't know what sort of team they are. Defense is miserable. So I'm putting the Atlanta Falcons at the bottom of the NFC South. So Russell, I fired shots at the vertically challenged, but your Bucks are off the bottom of the NFC South and my not-so-great 8 feature. An olive branch, my end. Onto the NFC West. The 49ers, I said that they were on the hot seat the last time I visited that, but they've turned it round now, and it's these poor old Rams. They've shown life. Brian Quick's looked good. Young quarterback that's come in is doing okay. But the Rams are staying put there. So that is my NFC West. There, the Rams prop that up. And that is the not-so-great 8 feature. A little rushed maybe, but I just want to squeeze it in. I've got to get Tom on from Huddle. Actually, rather than Tom on from Huddle, I'm going to go quickly now. A quick 2 minutes. I am going to ring the victor of today's Smack Talk Sunday. So if my if the account works here, so both Jamie and Cameron, be by your phones. I am ringing the winner right now. So here we go. This is the winner of the show. So fingers crossed they answer in a moment. Hello. Is that Jamie?
It is.
Jamie, congratulations, sir. You are the first victor of the Sunday Smack Talk.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Thanks need to go to Cowboys Nation.
Cowboys Nation, I don't know how you managed this, sir. My Twitter went crazy. Pretty much every Cowboys fan in the UK tweeted at me. So,
as you'll probably know, the Cowboys Nation over here and in America is, it's like one big family. So I think they heard that we was coming on, so
yeah,
they came out in force.
I met for myself personally. Massive shout out to Cowboys Nation as well for getting on board and embracing the show and showing your support to Jamie. Commiserations, I'll say to Carmen, who put up a hell of a fight. You will agree with that?
He did, yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, I thought with his points, I thought, he was going to nick it, he was going to get me. Because it's going to be a tough game, and I think everybody knows we're going to have us backs to the wall tonight.
Yeah,
but,
it's going to be.
Obviously, there's a lot like myself who think that we're just going to scrape it.
Yeah, right then, Jamie. I'll give you the floor for the next 30 odd seconds to just promote away whatever you like. As I can't give out prizes or anything like that, mate. I'm sat in my spare room. If I'd got the funds and stuff to do that, I would. But I can offer you the floor and a bit of self promotion, mate.
Yeah, no, just thanks again to Cowboys Nation for getting behind, and to also say that we're going to win tonight, and also just everybody coming to Wembley. Make sure you check out our website, ukcowboysfans.com. If you're interested, we've got a party on the Saturday night. It's going to be the only place for Cowboys fans to be at. If you miss out, you're definitely going to regret it.
Oh, that's brilliant stuff. So get on down to the party, check out the website. And Jamie, I really appreciate you jumping on at the last moment. And if you want to put your name down forward or volunteer, anyone else going forward for this feature, just let me know, buddy. And any sort of
thanks for having us,
tweets and that you've got regarding your site and that, send my way and I'll happily tweet those out.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jamie. Right, mate. Enjoy the game tonight and all the best. I shall catch you in a foreseeable future.
Speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Jamie. Bye, mate. And that was Jamie there. Commiserations to Cameron, who put on up an excellent fight there in the first ever Sunday Smack Talk. Do go check out their Facebook page there, the UK Seahawkers on Facebook. So commiserations to Cameron. And again, Cameron, I echo what I've just said there to Jamie. Anything you've got that you want to tweet at me, I'm happy to retweet and share that info, and we keep building this community over here in the UK. I do have a recent call. I do believe I missed Tom phoning in. Yeah, it was Tom. Tom, I'll give you a quick bell, mate. Again, congratulations and well done, Cowboys Nation, for rallying around your guy. So here we go. Should have Tom on the line here any second. Last 8 minutes of the show. Packed show today. Hello Tom. Man. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Good man.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thanks. I'm not bad. Just been having a leisurely Sunday afternoon, watching the NFL news as it rolls in, and having a little fiddle with the Huddle website. So,
all right. What's going on at good old huddlemagazine.com?
Well, our current issue is out. which takes a look at the Atlanta Falcons and Detroit Lions ahead of the next international series game. Rookie profile in there, very key, Bron. That's went on sale a couple of weeks ago, and that's still obviously our current thing that we're pushing. Just doing a few little updates to our website just to make it look a little bit more slick, and you know how I like to keep on top of these things, so just kind of cracking on with that. And we're currently working on just getting the next cover ready for the next issue, which will come out at the end of this month, which will be a Jaguars Cowboys feature. And for all those that are listening, we're going to go a bit crazy with this one, because there's kind of one issue, but it's going to have two different covers, two different lead stories, one for the Cowboys, one for the Jaguars. So it's kind of a bit of a different direction with that international series game coming up. So some people will be able to buy a copy where it includes both. Others will be able to buy the one that's more relevant to their team. So something for the neutrals and something partisan for each of the teams that are going to Wembley.
Awesome stuff.
A little bit different, isn't it? See how the reaction is for that. You know, that's the kind of thinking behind that. See how people like it, see what happens, and you know, if it's received quite well, then it's something we can look at doing for the 4 games next year. So always worth a punt. And I mean, other than that, really, just in the week I was talking to Erin Coscarelli off NFL AM for a feature that we're going to be doing with her. So
nice,
you know,
on all fronts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you know, busy week and that, and still cracking on as we do. But you know, just making sure we're putting all the things in place to get the good stuff keep coming out for the fans that are buying it. We really appreciate everyone who buys Huddle Magazine, and we hope that you enjoy every bit of the work that we do. And believe it or not, mate, we've already started on the Super Bowl issue.
Wow.
So
I will save you from some writing and research. Count my Jets out.
Well, yeah, count the Jaguars out as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're both in that boat, mate.
Yeah,
don't worry about that one.
Oh dear.
But yeah, started on a few of the things for the Super Bowl issue that we can do in advance of knowing what teams are playing. So it's a bumper issue this year, probably looking at around about 90 pages.
Wow.
We obviously we put out 60 pages a month as it is anyway, but we're kind of looking to pad it out big time for the Super Bowl, make a big feature of that being obviously the biggest event in football of the year. So
excellent stuff.
Got to start early to get them 90 pages.
Yeah,
in.
I can imagine.
But yeah, do you want my news?
I was just going to say, we've got about 4 or 5 minutes left. What news do you have for us today? What's been going on whilst I've been on air?
In terms of big names that are inactive, Calvin Johnson and Reggie Bush are both inactive for the Lions today. Active-wise, No Sean Moreno will play for the Dolphins. Looking at games around the league, New England at Buffalo, Brady's active, but Dante Hightower will be out. And Sammy Watkins expects to be on Revis Island today, but CJ Spills has said that if the rookie can acquit himself well today, even if he doesn't have a big day, it'll stand him in good stead for the future and build on his confidence. So, you know, could be a good matchup there, depending on what happens. Let me have a look. See, Denver at your New York Jets. I'm sure you're looking forward to this one, Mark.
No.
A lot of talk about Peyton, obviously passing the record marker. The coaches and players, apparently, of the Jets are very confident in Ryan's defensive plan to ensure that doesn't happen. Don't know how confident you are about that, but they're very confident, and Peyton Manning himself has said that he respects Rex Ryan and the defense, and so he's not taking anything as a granted that he's going to achieve that milestone today. And I think it'd be kind of sweet if he did do it at Mile High as well, the reception that he'd get at home. So I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see how that one pans out. I'm sure you'll be screaming at the TV watching that.
Yes, the air could be blue in the Tease household tonight.
In Cincinnati, Carolina at Cincinnati, Cam Newton's looking healthier. Obviously, delivers more of a run threat, which is what the Carolina offense has really been missing in past weeks. Hugh Jackson of the Bengals just said that they're not going to crash their game plan. They've got their game plan set out and they're going to stick to it. With AJ Green out, expect a lot of run from Cincinnati. They'll put a lot of pressure on Bernard and Hill to carry the ball and move that offense forward. And in the game that you've just been fighting over, Dallas at the Seahawks, let me just say, Cam Chancellor is questionable with his hip injury, so that's a big minus on the Seahawks' defensive side of the ball. So that could play nicely into the hands of Tony Romo and the Cowboys. And in defensive tackle, Brandon Mebane has said that they just need to stay disciplined and they'll be fine, basically, in terms of stopping that Dallas Cowboys run and DeMarco Murray's threat. So a little bit from both sides of the Seahawks. Balance, should we say. Their defense seems pretty confident, but Cam Chancellor being questionable with his hit. No real news as to how bad that is, but that's all they're saying at the moment. He may get some game time, maybe not play at all. We'll just see as we go forward. And that.
Yeah.
That's my roundup. That's my lot in terms of news for today. Again, pretty quiet week, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been like, aren't it, last couple of weeks now?
Yeah, I mean, everything seems to be happening during the week.
Yeah.
That's
Monday,
the
Tuesday, I think, I haven't logged on for a couple of days, all this news. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy at the moment. I mean, not just in the NFL and all, a lot of the stuff that's going on with Florida State and Jameis Winston accusations and how much is being covered up there with his sexual assault charge. And,
there's
a lot going on in football at the moment. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, quiet on Sundays. Amazingly, lots of information during the week. Yeah. So, as I say, some interesting tidbits around. Hopefully my Jaguars are going to do the business today. I'm pretty confident. I'm confident.
Yeah, you're either facing... Is Mettenberger playing today or is Clipboard Jesus back in?
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know who Tennessee are saying they're playing today. Obviously, with Locker, as long as Locker's not playing, I'm happy. I don't think either are really fantastic replacing them. And I mean, when you think last year we beat them both on the road and in Jacksonville with Locker on the sideline, I'm quite happy that he's out of the game. And it's pretty sad when you're having to face second string quarterbacks to win games, but when you're a team with an O, it'd be nice to get a win and get off the ground, especially before Wembley. So
yes,
I'm hoping we can do something today and achieve a winning result. We were pretty good last week, I thought, against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, pushed them close.
Well, yeah, we pushed them hard, and there were a couple of plays with the, they tipped the balance, as it always is with football. It's tipped the balance, and it went in their favour. But in all reality, coming into the game, the way the Steelers' offense plays, how poised Big Ben is, the struggles we've had in terms of our O-line, I wouldn't have seen it being that close going into the fourth quarter, to be perfectly honest with you, before the game. So I'm happy with the way things are developing, and I think Blake Bortles looked really good last week. So, I'm happy, and I just can't wait to see him play at Wembley.
Yeah, when's that? Is it November the 9th?
Yeah, November the 9th. Haven't you got tickets for that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be down there for that. As I say, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully get a word with Blake Bortles during the week running up to that. So see what he's got to say for himself, see what information we can get out of him. So it'll be pretty good.
Excellent stuff, Tom. As always, mate, I appreciate you jumping on, and it wouldn't be the same if I wasn't rude and cut this to an abrupt end so I can go have some dinner.
No problem at all, mate. No problem at all.
Again, head over to huddlemagazine.com, Huddle Magazine on Twitter, and as you can tell, Tom knows his stuff, so any tweets and stuff, just feel free to hit Tom up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for those that buy Huddle Magazine. And as Mark says, anyone who wants to chat during the games tonight, at Huddle Magazine on Twitter, I'll be watching the Jaguars Titans to begin with, and then one of the other interesting games afterwards. I'll decide at the time. Last week I watched the Broncos and Cards, so I'll watch a different game in the late games every week. So just hit me up, and if your game seems pretty interesting and I'm watching a rubbish one, I might even turn over to yours. So give me a shout.
Yeah, excellent stuff, Tom. Again, mate, I've echoed this to the guys over at Dundee NFL, but I appreciate the support and everything, the retweets and kind words regarding the show as well, mate. Thank you.
Never a problem.
Excellent stuff. Right then, buddy, I shall speak to you in the week as normal, and I will we'll do this again next week.
Cool. See you later.
Excellent stuff. Enjoy your Sunday, sir.
And you, mate. Bye-bye.
Will do. Goodbye. And that was Tom from Huddle Magazine. So head over to huddlemagazine.com, Twitter, Huddle Magazine. Yeah, that's it. Right then, a busy, packed, fun show. Hopefully the feature that's gone... Well, all the features have gone down well today. The Not So Great 8. Tweet at me your thoughts on that at Zone Coverage FS. If you want to take part next week in the Smack Talk Sunday, please just get in touch with me and we will try and get that done again. Also, your thoughts on that feature. Did you like the feature? Good idea? Bad idea? If you don't like something on the show, just say. Don't be shy. Think it's rubbish. Let me know and we'll tweak it moving forward and that. What else have we got coming up now? It's gone 5:30. I should be done by now, but hey-ho. Right then, I've gone through the fixtures. Yeah, a couple of mentions. Peter Collins, Tom Marshall, Biff Sweeney, Martin, Ray O'Connor. New followers on Twitter, Tim and Tom at NFL. They give me a shout-out on their podcast in the week. I've yet to go and check that out, but the Twitter handle is Tim and Tom NFL. So that's sort of a new pod up and running, so go check that out. Again, like I say, if you've got anything you want to promote, any blog sites, just tweet at me. I'm happy to retweet those and help you grow those moving forward, as everyone is excellent in promoting the show and that. So again, a massive shout out to Cameron at C4MIRN on Twitter for taking part today on the show. Commiserations as well, put up a great case. Jamie, fantastic. He rallied Cowboys Nation at UK Cowboys on Twitter there, so great stuff. Appreciate you guys coming on and helping me out there massively. Otherwise I would have had a big void and I don't know, we might have ended up talking about shopping or something absolutely random. But again, thank you to everyone that's listened and tuned in. Do me a favour, any forums you're on and whatever, just drop in the link to the show, spread the word about the show, iTunes, rankings, Stitcher, and all that. Just keep spreading the word. And the number, if you want to take the number down ahead of next week's show, it's 0161 818 4593. I do believe that is everyone covered. Yeah, podcast, Dundee NFL, and Fantasy Talk at Dundee NFL Podcasters, fourth down and out. Tweet those guys there. Massive shout out to Scott for ringing in and for tuning in on via On Demand, which you can do iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spreaker. Website is www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com. That rounds it up. Another over 90 minutes. I'm spoiling you lot. I'm gone over 90 minutes for the past few weeks. So again, massive thank you to you all for participating on Twitter, calling in. It's very, very much appreciated. And I shall see you next week, Sunday, live at 4 o'clock. And until then, hustle, hit, and never quit.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Unable to listen live? We've got that covered. Simply search the Zone Coverage Football Show in either iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And don't forget to subscribe. All our shows and details on how to call into the show can be found on the website www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com.